डियर स्टूडेंट्स, आज अपन पढ़ने वाले हैं फिजिकल एंड केमिकल प्रॉपर्टीज ऑफ हैलोएल्केन्स एंड हैलोएरिन्स। तो आज का अपना टॉपिक है फिजिकल एंड केमिकल प्रॉपर्टीज, फिजिकल एंड केमिकल प्रॉपर्टीज ऑफ हैलोएल्केन्स एंड हैलोएरिन्स, हैलोएल्केन्स एंड हैलोएरिन्स। इस चैप्टर के लास्ट लेक्चर्स में अपन डिस्कस कर चुके थे कि हैलोएल्केन्स क्या हैं, हैलोएरिन्स क्या हैं एंड हैलोएल्केन्स और हैलोएरिन्स के बनाने के मेथड क्या हैं, प्रिपरेशन मेथड्स क्या हैं। जनरली अपन आज पहला टॉपिक फिजिकल प्रॉपर्टीज को पढ़ने जा रहे हैं। फिजिकल प्रॉपर्टीज in lower classes we have learned that what are physical properties and what are chemical properties. Generally we can say that such type of properties in which there is change into the physical features of the compound are known as physical properties. If there is change into the chemical composition of any compound, then it is known as chemical properties. Generally we include some following topics in physical properties, mainly color, density, smell, melting point and boiling point, fourth density and fifth solubilities, and so many properties are included in physical properties. So generally in class we know that generally haloalkanes are colorless, generally colorless, haloalkanes are generally colorless, but when these are exposed into the light, they develop color, into the presence of light, in light. Like this, some critical examples, some characteristic examples like bromoalkanes, iodoalkanes are generally colorful. But the fluoroalkanes and chloroalkanes are generally colorless. Only fluoro and chloro exposed and develop color into the presence of light, but mainly into the absence of light, generally bromo and iodo derivatives of haloalkanes, so the color. And smells, there is no characteristics properties of the smell. Sometimes they give the smell test, otherwise not. Right? And the third, melting point and boiling point. Generally, the haloalkanes and haloarenes and any other organic compounds can be identified primarily on the basis of melting point and boiling point. Generally, the melting point and boiling points are the parameters of purity of a compound. We know that the water boils at 100 degrees centigrade, it means 373 Kelvin. If the water boils at 373 Kelvin temperature, it shows that the water is 100% pure. Then melting point and boiling point can be considered as the purity of an organic compound or any compound. Melting point and boiling point. Now we will discuss it in detail. Melting point and boiling point. We have learned about the melting point and boiling point in lower classes. What are the melting point and what are the boiling point? The melting point is that point of temperature at which and at certain atmospheric pressure the solid state and the liquid state of any compound is in equilibrium state, is known as melting point. But the boiling point is that point of temperature and at certain atmospheric pressure like 1 atm pressure the liquid state and the vapor state of any compound is in equilibrium state. Now, boiling point of haloalkanes and haloarenes. Generally, we can say that the boiling point and melting point of any compounds are associated with the mass and the size of atom. Depends upon the mass and size. Number 2, it also depends upon the intermolecular forces. Intermolecular forces like dipole-dipole moment, and van der Waals forces of attraction. Right? Dipole moment depends upon the mass and size, and intermolecular forces. Generally, we can say that the organic compound, haloalkanes, so polarity, and due to the polarity, the intermolecular forces like dipole-dipole moment and van der Waals forces of attractions are greater into the halogen derivatives of the compound, and due to this type of interactions, there is strongest bonding into these compounds than that of compared to the parental hydrocarbons. So we can say that the halogen derivatives are generally high melting or high boiling than their parental hydrocarbons. But into the case of identical haloalkanes, we can say that what will be the order of boiling point and melting point. For example, CH3Br, CH3I and CH3F. For example, we can say that methyl group and methyl group, bromomethane, iodomethane and fluoromethane. But generally we have considered that in a group from up to down, the atomic size and mass of the halogen element is continuously increased. The order of mass and the order of size will be chlorine, after that chlorine and bromine and iodine. Okay? Then due to the increase in the atomic size and mass of the halogen elements, the intermolecular forces, the magnitude of intermolecular forces will be increased, right? But the melting point and melting point of these halogen derivatives will not be affected by the methyl group, because the methyl groups are same into the three of the compounds. So the order of boiling point will be, right? We know that fluorine सबसे छोटा है, CH3F is the smallest size, CH3Br and CH3I. So generally, boiling point and melting point of an halogen derivatives depends upon the size of the compound, mass of the compound, and intermolecular forces present in the compound like dipole-dipole moment and van der Waals forces of attraction. Okay? Right. Now another factor is the symmetry of the compound. Symmetry of the compound in dihalogen derivatives. In dihalogen derivatives, we can understand it by the ortho, para and meta dihalogen derivatives. Ortho derivatives and this is meta derivatives, and this is para derivatives 1,4-dichlorobenzene. This is ortho derivative, this is meta derivatives, and this is para derivatives. In this example, we can say that the para derivatives is most symmetrical than remaining of other two others. इस एग्जाम्पल में अपन ये कह सकते हैं कि जो पैरा डेरिवेटिव्स है वो ऑर्थो डेरिवेटिव्स और मेटा डेरिवेटिव्स के कंपैरिजन में ज्यादा सिमेट्रिकल है, और इसके सिमेट्री के कारण से ये किसी भी क्रिस्टल लैटिस में बिल्कुल फिट हो जाता है. Due to the more symmetrical properties in para isomer, it fits into the crystal lattice. So it gets the most strong bonding. Then we can say that due to the most strong bonding, due to the most symmetry, due to the most crystal lattice structure, due to the most stable crystal lattice structure, the order of these derivatives of boiling points will be para isomer and ortho isomer after the meta isomer. Right? So now we have discussed about the boiling point and melting point depend upon the factors: the mass and size of the atom, the intermolecular forces, dipole-dipole moment, and van-der-Waals forces of attraction, and the symmetry of the compound. Now third and the most important example is branching. How is boiling point and melting point is affected on branching and hydrocarbon chains? How is boiling point and melting point is affected on branching in hydrocarbon chain? For example, CH3, CH2, CH2, CH2Br, one butane. One bromobutane. The isomer of the one bromobutane will CH3, CH, CH3, CH2Br, and third CH3C, CH3, CH3 and Br. 1, 2, 3, 4 carbon atoms, 1, 2, 3, 4 carbon atoms, and 1, 2, 3, 4 carbon atoms. There is no change into the molecular mass and the types of halogen atom into these isomers of bromoalkane. One bromobutane is the straight chain, and 2 methyl, 1 bromo, 2 methyl propane, one branch, and 1, 2, 3, and 2 bromo, 2 methyl propane, 2 bromo, 2 bromo, 2 bromo, 2 methyl propane, 2 bromo, 2 methyl propane, 2 bromo, 2 methyl propane. On branching into the hydrocarbon chain, the melting point or boiling point is decreased. So the order of melting point and the boiling point, the order of boiling point in the isomers of bromoalkane will be, yes, इसको मैं A मान लेता हूँ, इसको मैं B मान लेता हूँ, और इसको मैं C मानूँ. The order will be A, right? After this B and C. तो फिजिकल प्रॉपर्टीज किसी भी हेलो डेरिवेटिव्स कंपाउंड की वो किस किस के ऊपर डिपेंड करेगी? द एटॉमिक साइज एंड द मास ऑफ द कंपाउंड डिपेंड्स अपॉन द नंबर ऑफ हाइड्रोकार्बन चेन्स ऑन ब्रांचिंग एंड द इंटरमोलिकुलर फोर्सेस लाइक डाइपोल-डाइपोल मूवमेंट एंड van-der-Waals forces of attraction into the compound. Right? Yes. Clear point? How can can we explain the boiling point and the melting point of the halogen derivatives? Third, physical properties. Third one is density. Very simple. Third is density. Density. Very simple. On increasing the size and mass, on increasing the size and mass, or increasing the size and mass of haloderivatives and haloalkanes and haloarenes, the density is increased. The density is increased. The density is increased. Fourth and important, solubility. Solubility. Generally, what is solubility? Generally, we can define the solubility that the maximum amount of solute which can be easily dissolved into the water at normal conditions, और मतलब कि क्या कह सकते हैं उसको, किसी भी ऑर्गेनिक सॉल्वेंट, the maximum amount of the solute then that can be dissolved into the water or any other organic solvent into at normal conditions is known as solubility. How can we explain the solubility of haloalkanes and haloarenes into the water, into the organic solvents? देखिए, here I consider an example CH3Cl, sorry, CH3M, and other is CH2OH. How will the fluoromethane dissolved into the water? There is many of the factors are applicable to explain the such type of properties and solubilities into the organic solvent and solubilities into the water. Okay. Now, first we have to consider that the energy, we have to break the bonds present into the halogen atoms and carbon in halogen derivatives in haloalkanes. Second, we have to break also the bond, hydrogen bonds between the water molecules, right? We know that this is water molecules and it is associated with intermolecular forces of attraction, like this, and this is fluorine, this will be bound like this. So first of all, the energy which is required to break the bonds between the water molecules and the energy which is required to break the bonds between the halogen derivative molecules. If the amount of energy is greater than the energy which is released during the breaking of the bonds, hydrogen bonds into the water molecules. Okay, now we are getting it. यदि वाटर मॉलिक्यूल्स के बीच में जितने भी हाइड्रोजन बॉन्ड प्रेजेंट है, उन बॉन्ड्स के टूटने पर जो एनर्जी रिलीज होती है, उस रिलीज होने वाली एनर्जी का मैग्नीट्यूड इस कंपाउंड और हाइड्रोजन के बीच में अट्रैक्शन होने के लिए जो एनर्जी चाहिए, उसकी एनर्जी से यदि ज्यादा होता है तो ये कंपाउंड इसमें इजीली घुल जाएगा, इजीली डिसॉल्व हो जाएगा. समझे? एक बार फिर से रिपीट कर रहा हूं. द एनर्जी विच इज रिक्वायर्ड टू ब्रेक द हाइड्रोजन बॉन्ड्स प्रेजेंट इनटू द वाटर मॉलिक्यूल्स इज लोअर देन द एनर्जी which is required, which is released during the breaking of hydrogen bond present into the water molecules. Then if this energy is higher, then the fluoroalkanes and the halogen derivatives compound will be easily dissolved into the water, right? But into the case of water, we know that this energy is low, so the halogen derivatives, haloalkanes and haloarenes are slightly sparingly soluble into the water, but into the case of organic solvent, the required energy is lower than the released energy. So the haloalkanes and halogen derivatives are strongly soluble into the organic solvent. Right? No problem? And fifth, कई हो सकते हैं, जैसे कलर्स हो गया, डेंसिटी हो गया, सोल्युबिलिटी हो गया, बॉइलिंग पॉइंट हो गया एंड द मेल्टिंग पॉइंट हो गया. नाउ केमिकल प्रॉपर्टीज important, and many of the competition exams or academic exams need about 3 or 4 marks questions are generally asked from the chemical properties of haloalkanes and halogen derivatives and haloarenes, like this. Chemical properties. The chemical properties of the haloalkanes and haloarenes can be classified into some categories. Number 1, nucleophilic substitution reaction. Nucleophilic substitution reaction. And number 2, elimination reaction. Elimination reaction. And number 3, reactions with metals. Reactions with metals. Okay, so chemical properties, such type of properties which undergoes where the change into the chemical composition of the compound, haloalkanes or haloarenes. And the nucleophilic substitution reactions are those reactions which are generally initiated by presence of nucleophile species, in which one negative charge species or nucleophile species is replaced by other strong nucleophile species. The group that is removed is known as leading group, and the group that is introduced into the compound is known as nucleophile group. So now we will discuss in detail nucleophilic substitution reaction. Nucleophilic substitution reaction, okay, क्या है? This reaction, to learn about this reaction, first we have to discuss the some nucleophile species. Like I know it is a reagent. NH3 may compound a reagent, and KCN a reagent, AgCN a reagent, H2O a reagent. और हो सकते हैं इस टाइप के reagents, कई reagents हो सकते हैं. Like this, इस टाइप का reagent अपन लें तो उसमें न्यूक्लियोफाइल स्पीसीज बनेगी हाइड्राइड आयन. एमोनिया मॉलिक्यूल अपन लेते हैं तो इसमें न्यूक्लियोफाइल स्पीसीज बनती है NH3. KCN, it is just an ionic nature. This is an reagent with ionic nature, but the AgCN silver cyanide, this is the reagent with an covalent nature. And H2O is neutral nature. एमोनिया मॉलिक्यूल से एमोनिया एक न्यूक्लियोफाइल स्पीसीज बनती है. दिस इज आयोनिक नेचर का होता है, और आयोनिक नेचर का होने के कारण से इसका आयनाइजेशन होता है CN, राइट. देन द C ट्रिपल बॉन्ड and then this will be cyanide ion will be act as a nucleophile species. When any compound is reacted with potassium cyanide, then the product will be formed into the form of cyanide. But into the case of silver cyanide, because we have already discussed that the silver cyanide is covalent in nature, so the ionization of this compound will be Ag plus and N minus, right. And कोवलेंट नेचर का तो जनरली आयनाइज नहीं हो पाएगा, और इसका जो बनेगा स्पीसीज जो बनेगी वो इस टाइप की स्पीसीज बनती है आइसोसाइनाइड. ओके, व्हेन and any compound is reacted with silver cyanide, then the compound will not form cyanide, but the compound will be formed into the form of isocyanide. But due to the presence of lone pairs of electrons, the H2 molecules itself acts as a nucleophile species H2O. And so many examples are there which can act as a nucleophile species. So generally we can say that the nucleophile species are generally the species with negatively charged, are the generally the species with high electron densities due to the presence of lone pairs of electrons. Now, okay, अब अपन ये पढ़ चुके हैं इस टाइप की जो न्यूक्लियोफाइल स्पीशीज होती हैं. Now, the nucleophilic substitution reactions can be classified mainly in two categories, as-and-1 reaction and as-and-2 reactions. as-and-1 generally substitution nucleophilic unimolecular reaction and substitution nucleophilic bimolecular reaction. तो जनरली आज के लेक्चर में अपन इतना ही पढ़ेंगे. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल मैं एक बार रिपीट कर देता हूँ. हमने आज पढ़ा है फिजिकल प्रॉपर्टीज हेलो एल्केन्स की और हेलो एरिन्स की, जिसमें हमने पढ़ा है कि किसी भी कंपाउंड की डेंसिटी, किसी भी ऑर्गेनिक कंपाउंड इसमें उसका बॉइलिंग पॉइंट, उसका मेल्टिंग पॉइंट वाटर में और ऑर्गेनिक सॉल्वेंट्स में उसकी सोल्युबिलिटी, ये सब फिजिकल प्रॉपर्टीज के अंदर स्टडी किया जाता है. और हमने ये भी मेनली जाना है कि किसी भी ऑर्गेनिक हेलो एल्केन्स और हेलो एरिन्स यानी कि ऑर्गेनिक कंपाउंड का जो बॉइलिंग पॉइंट और मेल्टिंग पॉइंट होता है वो जनरली उस कंपाउंड के मास, उसके साइज, उसमें पाए जाने वाले इंटरमोलिकुलर फोर्सेज ऑफ अट्रैक्शंस लाइक वन टू वन फोर्सेज ऑफ अट्रैक्शन एंड डाइपोल डाइपोल मोमेंट एंड द इलेक्ट्रोनेगेटिविटी ऑफ द स्पीशीज, इन सब के ऊपर डिपेंड करता है. राइट. दूसरा अपन ने सोल्युबिलिटी पढ़ा है और सोल्युबिलिटी में अपन ने पढ़ा है कि किसी भी कंपाउंड में पाए जाने वाले हाइड्रोजन बॉन्ड के बनने पर और हाइड्रोजन बॉन्ड के टूटने पर रिलीज होने वाली और रिक्वायर्ड होने वाली एनर्जी में कितना डिफरेंस होता है, उसके बेस पर अपन किसी भी हेलो एल्केन और हेलो एरिन की वाटर में और ऑर्गेनिक सॉल्वेंट में सोल्युबिलिटी को एक्सप्लेन कर सकते हैं. ठीक है. तो कल के लेक्चर में अपन पढ़ेंगे सब्स्टिट्यूशन reactions, elimination reaction and the reaction with metals. Thank you.